Welcome, everyone. Today, we're looking at two absolutely crucial ways to talk about the past. We're essentially turning ourselves into time travelers to master the art of storytelling in English. Specifically, we're zooming in on the past simple and the past continuous tenses. And to make this incredibly clear and just really easy to grasp, I want you to hold on to a fun metaphor throughout this explainer. Think of cameras and video recorders. I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to be a master director of your own English sentences.
So here's the challenge we face every single time we recount a memory or tell a story. How do we talk about the past without getting our wires crossed? Look, if you've ever tried telling a clear, engaging story in English, you definitely know the struggle of trying not to mix up the timeline. Because think about it, if everything sounds like it happened at the exact same millisecond, your listener gets totally lost. We need the right tools to show what was already happening, what happened next, and of course, what interrupted what.
All right, let's just dive straight into this core metaphor right away, because it's honestly going to change how you view these tenses. I want you to compare the snapshot to the movie. Think of the past simple as a quick snapshot of a finished event. Click, it's done. Now picture the past continuous as the movie playing in the background. It's rolling, it has duration, it's an action actively in progress. Try to keep these two visual ideas, the still photograph and the rolling film, right in the front of your mind as we go.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the quick snapshot, mission accomplished.
To ground our snapshot metaphor in the official textbook rules, the absolute most fundamental point is this. The past simple describes a completed action. We use it to talk about something that happened in the past, and it's completely finished, done, over. There's literally no ambiguity about it.
To really bring that rule to life, let's look at this classic example. I read a good book last night. Do you notice how clean and final that is? It's a single completed action in the past. You picked up the book, you read it, and that action is now firmly in the history books. Click, snapshot taken.
Now imagine mapping out a sequence of completed actions. Let's say we have Mary opening a book, Mary reading a few pages, and then Mary going to bed. Because these are consecutive, fully completed events, they actually act as the main building blocks of a narrative. They're the engines that physically move the main events of a story forward from point A to point B to point C.
It's exactly like flipping through a photo album, picture by picture. We use the snapshot tense to list out those main sequential events. Mary read a few pages of her book and went to bed. First snapshot, read pages. Second snapshot, went to bed. It's orderly, it's sequential, and it's beautifully simple.
Moving right along to Section 2, setting the scene, the background movie.
Okay, now I want you to imagine the background. What was happening at a specific moment? Well, that's where the past continuous shines. Consider an action that started at 9 p.m. and finished at 11 p.m. At exactly 10 p.m., smack in the middle, the action was actively happening. This tense covers a duration, you see. It points to an action that was actively in progress at a very specific pinpoint in time in the past.
So the really crucial takeaway here is that by adding a specific time, like 10 p.m., to our sentence, we literally turn our still snapshot into a rolling movie scene. Listen to this. I was reading a good book at 10 p.m. last night. If we were to magically walk into that room at exactly 10 p.m., we'd see the action in motion. The pages are actively turning. The movie's playing.
And because of this continuous, rolling nature, this tense is absolutely perfect for establishing the settings of a story. Take the sentence, "It was raining heavily outside." Before our main characters even do anything, before the main action even kicks off, we've already set the background scenery. We painted a vivid picture of the weather, which gives us a rich context for the actual story events to unfold in.
Now for Section 3, the sudden interruption, when simple meets continuous.
Let's see how this builds into something even more dynamic, because this is where it really gets interesting. When one action in the past happens right in the middle of another, we follow a super simple two-step rule. Step 1, identify the longer background action. This one gets the past continuous tense. Step 2, identify the shorter action that cuts in. This one gets the past simple tense. It's just long action, short interruption.
Think about this classic scenario. I was reading a book when the phone rang. You can visually see it, can't you? The long, continuous rolling movie of reading the book is suddenly jolted by the quick, short, completed snapshot of the ringing phone. So, as a general rule of thumb, the past continuous describes the background action, while the past simple drops in to describe that shorter, interrupting event.
Next up is Section 4, simultaneous actions.
The while rule.
But wait, what if two things were happening at the exact same time? Imagine stacking two continuous actions right side by side. On one hand, we have I was reading a book, and on the other, my mother was watching TV. These actions are running perfectly parallel to each other. Nobody is interrupting anyone here. It's literally just two scenes happening simultaneously. So when two or more actions in the past are happening at the same time, we actually use the past continuous for both. And the secret ingredient to glue them together is usually the magic word while. While I was reading a book, my mother was watching TV. Both of these actions demand the past continuous tense because they're both ongoing movies playing out concurrently in the past.
And finally, we arrive at Section 5, Summary and Quiz, putting it all together.
All right, let's do a quick recap. Snapshot versus movie. Interruption versus parallel. Here is your ultimate cheat sheet, summarizing the exact rules we've covered in this explainer today. You use the past simple for completed actions, the main events moving your story forward, and those short, sudden interruptions. And you use the past continuous for an action happening at a specific point in time, establishing the settings or weather, and for those long background movies. Keep these rules in your back pocket, and honestly, you'll never get your wires crossed again.
So, now it's your turn. Can you write your own story using both tenses? I challenge you to apply what you've learned today by crafting a dynamic, engaging narrative of your own. Put a character in a setting using the continuous, give them an action, and then interrupt them with a sudden, simple event. Mastering these tenses is exactly what will make your English stories truly come to life. So, what tale are you going to tell first? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.